Maybe we could pause the music a bit. Thank you so much, Emily. Good afternoon, everyone, and Happy New Year. What an exciting Friday. What a bright day. The sun is out. I don't know whether you people are experiencing the same weather as I am experiencing, but Upper Hill, the sun is out, and we are just enjoying the sun. And so, it's being still early in the year, maybe we could wish each other a happy new year, but in different languages. In different languages. And so, Mimi, I will start. I will start us off by wishing you a happy new year in Kiswahili. Nawatakia mwaka mwema. I think my Kiswahili is even failing me at this point, but yes, I'm wishing you all a happy new year. And please, let's put the happy new year wishes in different languages. You use your vernacular language, put it there in. Thank you, Alice. Yes, put it in the different languages. Let's just put wish each other a happy new year in different languages on chat. Nawatakia mwaka mwema, njema, wenye mafanikio, na upendo, and all the nice things. That is what I am bringing as my wish to you all today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And welcome to today's webinar. We are thrilled to have all of you here with us as we come together to share insights, to learn from each other, and engage in this exciting topic of embracing transformation for a successful 2025. And so to kick us off today, I'll ask us a quick question. What does transformation mean to you in one word? What does transformation mean to you in one word? I am still seeing your comments coming in for the New Year wishes. Ali said Happy New Year in English. Akshay also told us Sal Mubarak. I hope I'm saying this correctly because yes. Thank you, Akshay. Let me see if I can get others. Yes, mwaka wenye heri, mwaka muyaya. I should have just let you people unmute your mics to say this by yourselves, because for sure it is exciting. Nancy, I think I'm going to swallow my tongue when I say that. But yes, we can see what you have put on chat. Thank you so much, Nancy. Carol as well, Carol Mbunya, thank you so much. Alice Mukiri, Happy New Year to you as well. And yes, members, even as you're joining in, we are wishing each other a Happy New Year in different languages on chat. So let's be creative, greet us, and wish us a Happy New Year in different languages, even your vernacular language. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And as I was putting it out there, we have a question for you today. What does transformation mean to you in one word? What does transformation mean to you in one word? Please feel free to also drop your responses for that particular question on chat, and let's get this conversation started. For those of us who are new and are joining us for the first time, my name is Angela Amach, and I am part of the ICX Secretariat. And our webinar program usually runs for 1 hour. So we promise to do our best and keep time. We cannot afford to start the new year on a wrong note. And so we will be respecting your time. Let me go back to the chats again. It is getting interesting here. Mwaka museo to all of you. This is Agnes Mweni. Thank you, Agnes. Ali says that transformation means change to her. Hapa I'm seeing myself. Zengine, we will unmute at some particular point, and we will comment and say what we are trying to put on chat. But thank you so much. Please keep your responses coming. We are seeing them and we will acknowledge them, and we will keep this conversation going. So back to today's topic. The word transformation resonates deeply with all of us, especially at the beginning of the year. It's almost like a written law, where we'll have New Year resolutions, we'll be setting our goals, we will be working on vision boards, even just by a show of hands. I don't know, Kama, some of us here have already completed our vision boards. Mimi, I am a culprit. My vision board is done, and I am just waiting to execute it, and started on some, of course, yeah. And so you have all these things that you have planned. This is change. This is adjustment. This is, growth. And as I'm seeing some of your responses are coming in, yes, Lydia has said transformation is change for her. Lynette has said transformation means sustainable change, not just change, but sustainable change for her. Year of the snake. Alice, you will tell us more a bit about that. And Lois says it is intentional change. So yes, this is change. So how are we embracing it? And are there things that we could possibly be aware of to ensure that, we are being successful both in our personal lives, but also our professional lives. And part of also today's program, we will be unveiling the ICX Kenya 2025 theme. This theme usually guides our activities throughout the year. And so we will look a little bit into that, what the theme means and how can we apply it, some practical examples into, application in our departments, in our organizations, and so on. So this webinar is designed to be very engaging and impactful. And we'll even have exercises for you to participate in. And so we highly encourage you to please participate. If you wish to speak, you can raise your hand up and we will give you the cue to, to speak. Or if you wish, you could equally put your comment on chat and we will be addressing that. So to help us navigate our transformative journey today, I am delighted to introduce to you our guest speaker for today, who is none other than Miss Teki Karoki. Teki is a certified executive coach specializing in unlocking potential and embracing the best version of self. She is a dedicated talent and leadership development enthusiast. Teki thrives on helping individuals to achieve their peak performance while learning, specifically specializing in building positive intelligence among clients, which means she helps individuals to create a safe and supportive space where they can explore their saboteurs, boost self-awareness, and establish mental fitness. Together, Teki supports clients to dive deep into how they can establish better relationships, performance, and well-being, thereby establishing lifelong success. Wow, Teki, quite a bio. They are very impressive. Thank you so much, Teki, for joining us. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Teki to take us through her session. And Teki, over to you.
Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for joining and for giving us your time. I know the year has just started and we're all running and making sure that you start the year right. And Happy New Year. I'm one of those people who says Happy New Year until the end of January. So if you meet me on the corridor and I say Happy New Year, just go with it. And when I say corridor, I just happen to be in the same building as these lovely ladies, Angela, Lynette, and I believe Emily. So I'm delighted to be here. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and share my slides so we can have a discussion. Right, let me, can you see my screen? Excellent. So transforming customer experience through positive intelligence is the topic for today. And I would like to say at the outset, this will be part of a two-part webinar, precisely because today we'll start the thinking, then I'll give you something to do in your own time before the next webinar, and then we'll come back and discuss the so what. So our goal ultimately is to maximize mental fitness and emotional energy in order to transform customer experience. And at that note, I'd like to thank you all for the work you do in transforming customer experience, because we are all customers, but then there's those who are behind the scenes providing that excellent experience. So on behalf of all customers, asanteni. So let's see what we have today. I have about, I think, 25 to 30 minutes to cover some ground here. So I'll start with what we know. We know that we need to recognize the need for change. We need to leverage technology for transformation. We need to prioritize agility and innovation, measure success through customer experience metrics, collaborate across forums. So today I'm not here to talk about that. You'll be glad to know I'm not coming to tell you what you already know. You're experts in that space. However, I want us to talk about how we may embrace positive intelligence in order to boost customer experience. That's where I am here today. And that's what we'll be talking about in greater detail at a later date. So enhancing customer experience is about applying positive intelligence to shift the culture of customer experience through human-centered motives, programs, setup. Yeah? It's about empowering teams with tools and training to deliver exceptional experiences. It's about creating that culture of empathy and accountability for customer outcomes and promoting mental fitness among those responsible for providing customer experience. Now, I was looking at your survey from last year. I was really reading some of the survey results from last year. And what was evident and obvious is we have to boost the experience of the employee in order for the employee to provide excellent customer service and customer experiences. And this is what this positive intelligence space is all about. And we'll be talking about that specifically. So, and today I'll be asking you to wear two hats. One hat as you, the person. Let me pick on Emily. Emily as Emily, not Emily, the role, or Emily, the person responsible for communications or customer experience, or Lynette, the person responsible for business development. Think of yourself as you, the individual. That's one hat. Then I'll also ask you to think about wear the other hat of yourself as the person responsible for customer experience, whether you are the head of the department, head of the function, or you are the customer experience person, frontline. Just think, where are those two hats throughout this presentation, and ask yourself, how might this presentation and this concept help me in wearing both hats? So imagine yourself able to remain calm. Let me just move this. There you go. Imagine yourself able to remain calm, clear-headed, stress-free, and positive, even in the midst of handling the greatest of customer experiences challenges. And here I might add the greatest of life's challenges. In that state of mind, what might become possible for you in achievement, in peace of mind and wellness, and in your relationship? If you're able to just remain calm, clear-headed, stress-free, and positive. And at this point, I invite us to experience. In fact, let me stop share so I can see you, for those who have your videos on. I'll invite you to do a small exercise with me to take us about 30 seconds. And the exercise is about trying to calm down the part of our brain that's always going, and tap into the other part of the brain, the right side of the brain, that is intuitive, creative, present, emotions, where we find our creativity and our nonlinear thinking. We all know that our left side of the brain is all about thinking, logic, planning, analyzing, linear, straight, cause and effect. This other side is about creativity, being present, feeling emotion, being intuitive. So wherever you are right now, let me indulge me for a minute. Let's do a 10 to 30-second exercise where I'll ask you to sit comfortably or stand wherever you are. Just stand comfortably and close your eyes. And just take a few deep breaths. And as you're taking this breath, I'd like you to feel the temperature of air as it goes into your nostrils and the temperature of air as it comes out, and just focus on that sensation. Just a few more breaths. Then I'd like you to take the tips of your thumb and index finger and just gently rub them together with such focus that you can feel the ridges of both fingertips and just zone in into that sensation. Then I'd like you to take the fingertips of one hand and rub them gently against the fingertips and palms of the other hand and just feel all those sensations very gently and just laser focus on that for a few more seconds. And then as we close this session, I'd like you to think about or listen to the farthest away sound that you can possibly hear from where you are and just focus on that sound. And then I want you to listen to the closest sound that you can hear, even if it's the sound of your own breathing. Just focus on it for a few more seconds. And then lastly, take a few more deep breaths, again, feeling the temperature of air as it goes into your nostrils and temperature as it comes out. Yeah, then let your breath go back to normal and open your eyes. So what we did there is called a PQ rep, positive intelligence repetition. And what it does, it's a 10 to even a minute or 30-second focus, laser focus on one of your senses. And what it does, it just quiets the left side of the brain that's always going, and helps you tap into your right side of the brain that's more intuitive, creative, where you are fully present, right? And we'll be talking about that more. So let me go back to my slides. So when you're trying to be calm, clear-headed, laser-focused, positive, present, try any of those repetitions. I gave you a few: listening, breathing, rubbing the fingertips of your together just to feel the ridges. Those are different PQ reps. Try any when you're just feeling overwhelmed, just to calm down, right? So our objective today is to appreciate the impact of positive intelligence in transforming customer experience. Now, remember those two hats: yourself as you, but also as yourself in your role, so that you can see how might this, what you're going to discuss today, be impacting or enhancing or doing the opposite to your two roles, the two roles that you're playing today. So what is positive intelligence? Positive intelligence is a vibrant community of coaches, entrepreneurs, scientists, designers, engineers, and now I'll add customer experience resources and executives such as yourself, who are powered by positivity. So we are working to make the world brighter for everyone by building mental fitness. Now, before you wonder if you're mentally unfit, let's discuss what we mean by mental fitness. On the left side of our brain is where our brain sabotages us, and we'll talk about how. Where we are stressed, we are anxious, we are frustrated, we are not feeling our best self. And sometimes I coach someone, and recently, and the very first thing he said is, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I've been going, I'm just tired, and I don't feel like I've achieved my targets and my goals. And when I talk about what goals are you looking to accomplish, and he writes down some of the things that he's managed to accomplish, and I'm like, wow, you have accomplished all that, and you cannot see that you've actually accomplished a lot. That's the mind sabotaging. But then there's the right side of the brain where your mind is serving you, and that will be the topic for our next webinar. So today, let's talk about how our mind sabotages us, right? Welcome to Saboteurs. Now, let me start by saying we all have saboteurs. Write that down somewhere. Every person on the planet above the age of 6, I even wanted to say 5, has saboteurs. Every single one of us. Where we differ is in the degree of saboteurs. So what are saboteurs? Saboteurs are automatic thought patterns that cause negative emotions and hinder success. And they can manifest in many forms, as you can see. The judge is there removed to the side, not accidentally, but the judge is called the judge, the universal saboteur, and we'll be talking about the judge shortly. But what you can see on the right side of the screen, those are 9 saboteurs that we all share to a varied degree. For some people, they may score 0 on 1 or 2 of them, but all of us have got at least 1 or 2 or 3 of these saboteurs. And they are so automatic and they take on such a default part of our brain that we believe it is who we are. So let's talk about them. And as we are discussing, try and see if you can identify which one might be yours. You don't have to share or talk about it loudly. I won't ask you to, but it would be good to start to identify what could be sabotaging me. How am I self-sabotaging? Now, the judge finds fault with self, with others, and circumstances, and causes much of our disappointment, anger, regret, guilt, shame. It activates other accomplice saboteurs. That's why it's a universal saboteur. Now, the judge has a bias towards noticing or exaggerating or reacting to the negative, which reduces our chances of being surprised. The goal here is trying to survive. So I don't want to be surprised. I don't want to fall into trouble. I don't want to be in danger. So I'm going to anticipate what could go wrong. Yeah. And it reduces our ability to be present fully, because at any point we are judging this person's face, their clothes, what could go wrong, what they might have thought of or should have thought of. So we are always in judgment mode. Yeah. And we all share this saboteur because it talks to our universal need to survive. So again, wearing those 2 hats, think about, how does the judge impact me? Okay. Now, the accomplice saboteurs, some of them will be very familiar. The avoider, and these are in no particular order. The avoider focuses on the positive and pleasant in an extreme way, avoiding difficult and unpleasant tasks and conflicts. Now, what you'll realize is all saboteurs are based on strengths. Now, when those strengths are overused, they become saboteurs. They become self-sabotaging. So today I thought we'll discuss what are the strengths of the different saboteurs and how do we overuse them such that now they impact ourselves as an individual, for example, Lynette as Lynette, but also impacting Lynette as the customer experience executive or the customer experience person. So think also of the teams of the people you represent who serve customers. What are some of the saboteurs that could be impacting them, therefore limiting their ability to extend excellent customer experience? So strengths of the avoider include these individuals seek peace and harmony, both internal with self and external with others. They're easygoing, even-keel temperament, flexible and adaptable. They have a tendency to be positive and relatively judgmental, non-judgmental of others. Now, full disclosure, this is one of my top saboteurs personally. So let me just share that so you can understand we all have saboteurs. Now, when overused, the saboteur will avoid conflict and say yes to things that are not actually desired. Think about your customer experience individual, overpromising the client. Procrastinates unpleasant tasks, resists others through passive-aggressive means rather than directly. So these individuals will probably avoid, and when you avoid, things fester. That customer issue becomes a big issue, eventually becomes a major issue that needs to be dealt with. So think about your teams as well as yourself. Controller. This is an anxiety-based need to take charge and control situations and people's actions to one's own will. These individuals typically have high anxiety and very impatient when things are not moving. Yeah. Strength, they are confident, action-oriented, decisive, willful, and persistent. They challenge themselves and others, and they're able to do the right thing, even if it's unpopular. Yeah. They see possibilities and activate themselves towards outcomes. So they get things done. So, but when taken a notch too far, they tend to connect with others through competition, challenge, and conflict rather than through emotion. They push people beyond their comfort zone, and they're stimulated by conflict and also surprised that other people get hurt. So now think about your role as a leader of an organization. Are you pushing people too hard? Are you bending their will towards the direction you want to go? When I read the survey, your survey results, one of the things I saw employees talking about is that they have got no autonomy, no ability, not your employees, but the employees in the country. Kenyan customer service experience representatives, for instance, they have no autonomy, no ability to decide how to do their job. So that kind of freedom is taken away. And oftentimes you'll find the leaders they are serving are controlling too much. They're not giving space. So that's the controller saboteur. Hypervigilance, continuous intense anxiety about all the dangers and all the things that could go wrong. This is vigilance that can never rest. Strength, sensitive and aware of true risks and dangers to self, to others, to institutions. These are people who do very well when they are responsible for audit and compliance issues. I'm not saying all people responsible for audit and compliance have this saboteur. However, loyal, dependable, reliable, hardworking, and they're capable of persevering. Now, those strengths are excellent when you're dealing with customers and you're serving them and they can depend on you. However, when overused, there's a constant expectation of mishap or danger, suspicious about what others are up to, always expecting others to mess up, always anxious, doubting self, always waiting for others to mess up because they know they're the ones who come to clean up the mess. So there's that extraordinary sensitivity to danger signals. The other one is a pleaser. Now, we might think we want to please our customers, which is great. However, this pleaser indirectly tries to gain acceptance and affection by helping, rescuing, and flattering others, losing sight of their own needs, and then becoming resentful as a result. Yeah? These individuals are typically very empathic, very loving and giving, and tuned to the feelings and needs of others. They're emotionally self-aware and have high potential for high emotional intelligence. Now, when overused, they have a strong need to be liked, and they attempt to earn it by rescuing others, helping. They need frequent reassurance, and they express their own needs indirectly. Now, the problem is others do not understand what they need, and therefore they inadvertently drive people away. So think about yourself in your relationships. Also think about yourself in the customer service experience role that you occupy, whether director, a leader, function head. So how are you pleasing to a point that it becomes a saboteur, a strength overused? Victim, I'm sure we are familiar with this one. Emotional and temperamental as a way to gain attention and affection. They have an extreme focus on internal feelings, particularly the painful ones. Now, these individuals have ability to care very deeply about others, and they have capacity for very deep and very candid introspection. They appreciate the uniqueness of self and others and understand clearly. They have a way of perceiving the inner workings of people's minds, and they feel emotions very deeply. So this would be great customer experience individuals because they can relate and they can empathize with the customer. However, when overused, they tend to withdraw and to sulk. They can be very dramatic and temperamental when things get tough, and they just want to crumble and give up. So repressing rage. So again, when we talk about what we can do about these saboteurs in totality, think about, again, your team members. Restless, as the word says, these are individuals who are constantly in search of greater excitement in the next activity, constant business, rarely content, rarely settled. High energy and vitality is a key strength, open, curious, spontaneous, contagious enthusiasm and appreciation of life, capable of great productivity and creativity, energizing, and very able to co-create with others and put a plan together and execute it. However, when overused, very distracted, can get too scattered, staying busy, juggling many different tasks, seeking excitement. So you've got that employee who's in different committees and doing different things. That's probably at some point they're not going to be effective in any of them. So, and often they are escaping some unpleasant feeling, right? Stickler, that's perfectionist, needing for order and structure and organization that's taken too far, always looking to make things perfect. These individuals do not know when good enough is good enough. So they have high ideals and standards, very principled, very self-disciplined and discerning, and capable of leading self and others to work based on clear guiding principles. When overused, they can be very perfectionistic, very irritable, tense, opinionated, and sarcastic. Now think about yourself as a leader or as a parent, how the standards can be so high that the children cannot keep up. The employees cannot keep up. It's never good enough, so it causes frustration. Now, for those handling the customers, that frustration shows. And I think one of the things I also saw on the report is a lot, I think a certain percentage, was 29% of customer experience representatives in this part of the world are what you call quiet quitters. I call them quit but stayed. And often it's because they're not feeling appreciated, recognized, rewarded for what they are doing. Yeah. And they are usually very highly sensitive to criticism. So thinking about your teams, how often do we appreciate them, thank them, praise them? Hyper-rational is another one of my saboteurs. Now, intense and exclusive focus on rational processing of everything, including relationships. So we can be perceived as very uncaring, unfeeling, or intellectually arrogant. The strengths are capable of deep insight and understanding through objective analysis, can be observant and perceptive, and capable of great mental concentration. However, taken too far, we become very intense, sometimes very secretive, private. We don't let people get into the deeper feelings. So now we have employees that are trying to show them that we care, that they're important to us, but they're always feeling like we're rationalizing them. That now becomes a critical deal breaker for the people we work with, especially those who are feeling and want to be appreciated, recognized, loved, and cared for, and to know that they are cared for. I think I have one more saboteur here, hyperachiever. I almost want to say a lot of us might be able to relate with this one. These are people who are dependent on constant performance and achievement for self-respect and self-validation. Yeah, latest achievements are quickly discounted and we move on to the next. We set very high goals at the beginning of the year, and then we rush through the year trying to accomplish them. And with each accomplishment, there's no celebration, there's no recognition, there's no thanking and empathizing with ourselves. Strength-driven, pragmatic, adaptable, goal-oriented, and self-directed. These individuals can be very inspiring, yeah, and get others to achieve meaningful goals. However, the downside, become very good at covering up insecurity, showing a positive image, and being more into the public image than introspection. And that's where you start to find these individuals are often prone to workaholism. So I'm going to leave this slide on the screen here and just pause right there. I've just rattled through a series of saboteurs. And this is just to get us started to think about who and what our saboteurs are. So you can see I've put here a link for you to do the saboteur assessment so you can understand which ones are your saboteurs in particular. Again, wearing the two hats, yourself as an individual at home, at community, at life, in relation to how these saboteurs are helping me to self-sabotage. But also me at work as a customer experience executive or leader or team leader, how these, again, saboteurs are not helping me or helping me to work against the goals that I'm setting up for customer experience. And I think the same has been put in the chat bar. Thank you, ladies. So let me pause there before we talk about next steps. So let me stop share once again. Are any questions or any thoughts? Are they resonating?
Our lovely members and guests, the audience, do we have any questions for Ms. Teki as of now? Or can we continue and then take up the questions at the very end? Any comments? We also welcome comments. Agnes, I can see you. Yes. We love questions, Agnes, and we equally love to hear from our members. Welcome, Agnes.
Thank you very much. In fact, it's not a question per se, but just a comment. I think, Doc, I think this is such an interesting topic, and what a time, especially at the beginning of the year, it just speaks a lot to some of the things that you can be very ignorant about, and especially when you don't realize some of those saboteurs that we carry along with us. And this is very, very welcome. Maybe what I would ask, one of them you've already responded by sharing the link, so I will ignore that. The second one is just to say, is it possible to find yourself cutting across many of those saboteurs? Probably. And is there a remedy, for example, now just to find then if I find this is really working against me, and especially for us leaders, because you see, you realize, especially those who are working under us, they just simply reflect who we are as leaders. If we are failing, for example, in our workspace, it means then the issue is not necessarily the team. It has a higher percentage of me, myself as a leader. So is there something you could recommend for some of us who find ourselves struggling in certain saboteurs? What's something we can just do to sort of just start working on ourselves and just realizing fully so that we're able to, become better leaders as well?
And thank you so much for that, Agnes. Yes, there is something you can do, and that will actually be the topic of our next webinar. You'll have noticed I've gone through this saboteurs very, very quickly, just in respect to time. But yes, it's definitely something you can do. And yes, they do cut across, actually, for most of us. Some of the reports I see, you'll see a 0 maybe on victim and a 0 maybe on pleasant. But pleaser, but they cut across. Like I'm one of those people, I have every single one of those saboteurs, but to varying degrees. So at some point I might score 8.9 on hyper-rational, I think it is. And then maybe I'll score 1.1 on pleaser, but yes, they can cut across. However, there are those that are dominant. Hence why I put that link there. Do take that saboteur assessment and start to see which ones are dominating. So now, next time when we meet, we'll be talking about them. Now, what are you going to do about it? Yeah? So that will help you to see where you fall. And it will take about 10 minutes to complete. Don't complete it when you're exhausted, tired, have had a rough day. Just come present and just answer the questions. A very simple questionnaire to complete. I hope that answers your question. Right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Agnes. And we have a comment on chat as well that says, yes, the points resonate with me, and that is Alice Mukiri. Thank you. Thank you, Alice, for that comment as well. Amazing. I think we can proceed, Teki, to the next bit of the presentation.
Yes, I have just two more slides. Actually, one. Let me share screen. Share screen. Just now we're going to the part that Agnes was alluding to. So what can we do about it? What we are going to do about it is Lynette and Agnes to schedule us for the next webinar where we're going to talk about the sage perspective. This is now the right side of the brain where your mind is serving you. So learning how to silence the saboteurs, recognize them, silence them, and then now work on the sage side, sage perspective. So the sage perspective is a positive way of thinking that views challenges as opportunities for growth. And it's part of positive intelligence, which helps you to improve resilience by focusing on the positive aspects of the mind. And we'll be talking about 5 sage powers one by one. And then because you will have done your assessment, I'll be picking like examples from different saboteurs and to show how these different sage powers can help silence those saboteurs and help you to live more on the sage part of the brain. Now, thinking about that, think about honestly and candidly respond to that assessment and then come with it. It will give you some bars. You don't need to print it, but have it even on WhatsApp to give you a scale of your results. Then we can come and talk about them and come with questions. So now we have specific examples. Again, wearing the 2 hats, myself as me, but also in my role. Because remember, we're also here in service to customer experience. How am I in my saboteur mode impacting customer experience? And how may I, in sage mode, be enhancing customer experience? That's going to be our next steps. I believe that's my last slide. Yes, unless there's any question, let me stop sharing. Someone is saying she's pictured herself on the mentioned saboteur and she's here to learn and clean her slate. Thank you for that, Lillian. Right. Yeah, that's actually, I was just trying to keep time. So go on, sorry.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Teki. And I kind of felt encouraged when you also mentioned, like, you see, one can have traits like in the different categories of the saboteurs. And so when you are going through that, I'm like, I am this one. And the next one, I was, so when you mentioned that, it was a relief. It was like, okay, I'm not the only one. I'm so sure many of us might have felt the same way. And to know that there is something that we could possibly do about the different saboteurs, I think it's really, really encouraging. Thank you so much. Thank you for that wonderful
welcome.
presentation. Asante sana. Good members, I don't know
You
if
are
any of
welcome.
us
And do allow me to at least thank everybody for your
Yes.
time. Asanteni sana. Join me for the next one. Then I will talk about, I know we've gone through very quickly and in respect to time, but the next one now we'll be talking about so what. That's now where we'll now start to talk about what you can do. And please complete the assessment and let's see what you think. And then I think Lynette will share my contact. If you have any questions, doesn't make sense, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, asanteni. I'll be rushing out. I have a child to pick from school, but have a great one. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Teki. Thank you, Teki. Yes, the comments are still coming in. Agnes says, Teki, very timely discussion, truly a wake-up call, and thank you for sharing the link. Looking forward to the next discussion. Members are thanking you very much, Teki. For sure, we cannot thank you enough. Asante sana.
And also for your time.
Awesome. Bye, Teki. Teki has to leave, and I think we will now transition into the next exciting part of our program, which is unveiling the ICX Kenya 2025 theme. And to lead us through this session is none other than our General Manager, Miss Lynette Njeri. Lynette, please take over to take us through this next part. Asante. Thank you, Lynette.
Thank you, Angela. And that was a great session, getting to learn about the different saboteurs and how they affect us and our working style. For sure, I have seen quite a number of them with myself. So as Angela mentioned, we're going to be sharing our theme for the year, and this is what guides our activities for the year. And we're really excited about this one. So I'll share my presentation and ask the famous question. And see my screen.
Yes, Lynette, we can see your screen.
Right. Yeah. So the annual 2025 theme, as you know, each year we usually select a theme that guides our activities, and this is usually selected based on, member feedback. What kind of feedback have we been getting from members about from the different activities, from conferences to trainings to webinars such as this one? We are constantly collecting that feedback to see what would inform the theme. And we also look at trend analysis. We look at what are the trending topics out there so that we are also getting our members to a global platform and not just looking locally, but also out there. And so this guides our efforts to be able to advance customer experience. And so this year's theme is going to focus to be an intersection of three things. First is technology, then innovation and customer trust. Because we really have to look at the technology side of things and how we are innovating, which is something that's already happening. But then how do we balance it with customers' trust for us so that they're able to trust what we are doing with the services. And so, as you know, the customer experience landscape has really been changing and evolving over time. We've seen a lot of advancements of technology and different platforms. We've seen AI come into the picture. I think 5 years ago it wasn't such a big thing, but right now everybody is able is beginning to use AI in such a great way. We've seen customers demanding for more personalization, but also a seamless experience, so that it's not just personalized on one channel, but then it's failing on another channel. And then the third thing that we've seen is really trust and transparency when it comes to AI or technology has become very critical right now. And so how can we adapt in this changing world? How do you ensure that we are, with the times, which is really important? So some of the challenges and opportunities, we see opportunities for AI transforming customer service. There's a survey that was done last year that was informing trends for this year. And it said that customer experience leaders find that 84% of them are saying that AI will be critical for them to be able to offer great service. and that employees are thriving because of when technology is able to simplify their tasks. So that is really critical. But on the other side, in terms of the challenges that we can see, is that this skepticism about AI. In 2023, when people were polled, when consumers were polled, about 78% of them were ready to work with brands and were ready to have brands embrace AI, use of AI. But now at the end of 2024, data is showing that only 26% of consumers trust that AI is being used responsibly. So we can see a lot of skepticism, a lot of distrust when it comes to AI. And so this is something that we have to address in terms of looking at it in our theme. And so we have to balance personalization with privacy concerns, because that's what customers are worried about. And so over to our exciting big reveal of the theme for this year, 2025. I feel like doing some drum rolls over here. I can see someone is writing on my screen. Maybe they're excited. Introducing our 2025 theme of the year, really exciting. And it's going to be embracing intelligent CX. Hashtag embracing intelligent CX. This is our theme for the year 2025. It's going to be very critical for us to be able to balance adopting technology and AI and balancing that with now data privacy and use of responsible technology. And so adopting intelligent CX is not just an upgrade, it's the cornerstone of creating a seamless, empathetic customer service that is able to anticipate and exceed expectations. So why the theme? Why was this something that we chose? It's because we have to adapt to the evolving customer expectations. They are going higher and higher. People are expecting that seamless service, as we mentioned, that we need to leverage on AI, on data, on analytics. This is something that we have seen over the past decade. It's very, very critical. Then we still have to balance, automating versus now human-centric values, because we can see more and more customers are saying, I just don't want to talk to a bot. I need to also see the human side of your service. So are we able to balance? And lastly, how do we address the skepticism through transparency and trust? And so to build on this foundation, we have to build on what we already have. We already have, last year our theme was on employee experience. We have to look at how do we integrate employee experience so that we empower our teams. Journey maps is something that we have really worked on over the last decade. How do we also ensure that we are building on this foundation? And lastly, how do we now build on the foundation of data security and responsible use of AI practices so that we are ensuring a balance across and having a strong foundation? And so for us, as CX managers, as people in CX, we have to look at some actionable steps in terms of embracing this theme of embrace intelligent CX. First, it's to invest in advanced tools and technology. We've seen this already being done across people taking up different technologies, whether it's CRM here or, just AI, a chatbot, whatever you're using. But here we're looking at how do you ensure that, you're integrating, you're looking at the needs first before taking on a technology, instead of just taking on a technology and trying to adapt it to your needs. And then the other thing that will be important is just data security and privacy. We've seen this over the last year, especially with the Data Act. How do we ensure that there is data security? How do we ensure that we're keeping our customer data private? And then to train teams on digital readiness, this is now the time that our CX teams, we have to get into, data, learning more about cybersecurity, learning more about, using some of these technologies so that we are no longer relying on IT every time to troubleshoot on some of the things that we can already begin doing. And so how do we ensure that our teams are digitally ready, that we are actually embracing some of these courses like cybersecurity, use of AI, and different things that will be really critical for us to move into this, into embracing intelligent CX. And of course, a seamless omni-channel experience. This is just building on that foundation, as well as customer journeys, ensuring that, as we continue to, we've already probably mapped our customer journeys, but as we add on tools, we are adding on a chatbot. Are you looking at how that affects the customer journey? What is the feedback that you're getting out of adding these other tools that we are adding on in terms of technology? So that will be critical in terms of actions to take. And so call to action is please engage with us on this theme for the year. Ensure that you share your success stories or share your challenges online. Use it as a hashtag when you're posting, and just embrace this theme, and let's see how to make it actionable within our organization, so that we are setting the standards and we are bringing together different teams to action on this theme for the year. And so we'll end it at that with a quote that the future of customer experience lies in holistic, personalized, and emotionally charged journeys that will be achieved through intelligent CX. So please engage with us on this. Tell us what you think about the theme for this year in the comment section.
So much for that awesome presentation. I can get some exciting emojis. Those are the reactions that are coming in as well from members. Eunice says, amazing. That was immediately after our theme reveal. And Florence says, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the theme with us. That comes from Paris, from Zamara. Thank you, Paris, for joining us. And she says that she's equally super excited. And if we can share the presentation, which we should share to all our members, of course, we're going to share this presentation with you. Very exciting, very jazzy, very new and edgy theme. We love it. That is from Caroline Gaduru, and we can't agree more. Thank you so much, Lynette, for that great presentation. Yeah.
Yes, and we'll share the presentation. But above that, we also have a document that then breaks down or gives you deeper detail on the theme, and that's available on our website. If you just go to icxkenya.co.ke, you'll be able to see to download the theme. We have a whole document written down, giving you even some of the ideas that you can use to make it more practical for your organization. So please look out for that theme. We'll also send it out to all our groups so that you have it in hand and you can share it with your teams. So that's our theme for the year. Before we close out, we want to have a few announcements. Emily, if you can just share. Yes, we have announcements here. Please look out for, save the date. We need you to save the date for our annual conference. Our annual conference is coming up from the 9th to 11th. As you can see, we will have a longer time together. A lot of times we've gotten feedback that, it's too short, 2 days is not enough. So this year we're giving you 3 days together. And we'll have such exciting things. We're looking at having our whole day of workshops. You're moving from one workshop to the other and being able to interact and learn a lot. So we'll have a full day of workshops. We'll even have half a day of excursions in the city that we're going to, which will be unveiling soon. So please look out for details on where will our conference be. We'll be unveiling that in a week or so. Please also look out for our calendar. You've seen our calendar. We released this last year. ensure you engage with it. Look at what your teams can do in terms of trainings. What webinars do you want to be part of? Which major events like our conference and our upcoming CEO breakfast and the awards. Just have this in mind. If you need us to send it to you, we will do that. But please look out for our 25 activities and engage with us throughout the year. And so we'll move on to feedback. If you can, please give us feedback. As you can see, your feedback is so important. It helps us to come up with things like the theme for the year. It helps us to come up with what activities go into our calendar of events. So give us feedback on how you thought this webinar went and what you can do to improve it. Emily, please also put the link on the chat in case someone is not able to scan the code. But then this marks the end of our webinar for today. We are so excited about the new year. We are so excited about the activities that we have this year. Just look out for bigger and better, and we are ready to engage with each one of you. Please make sure you engage with us. We are looking for blogs. We are looking for people to speak. We need our members to speak at webinars. If you feel inspired or you need a space to speak, we have the conference. If you want to speak at the conference, that's something that we can discuss. So ensure you reach out to us so that we grow you. Even as we grow ourselves, we are also able to grow you. Put up a blog, put up a LinkedIn post, whatever you need, whatever ways you need to shine, we are here to give you that platform to do so. Yeah. Angela?
Thank you, Lynette. We just have a very interesting audience. If you go through the chats, you'll just be able to see that. But yes, Eunice, we have seen. Save the date. We are going somewhere interesting for the conference. And Eunice's was, please look at the charts. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And it was lovely having all of you. Bye. The webinar is now over. Thank you.